You see, Reddit stories like this is why I'm in firm belief. I'm in real firm belief. No, the people just don't, especially women, but I believe people just don't know how to choose a partner, dog. They don't know how to choose a partner. They don't. I mean, I told you I made a red flag stream of professions not to date. I made a stream for women literally saying, these are the men that you should not really be taking seriously. I made a stream. I made a video for that. And then my caveat for that video, I said, honestly, I think I'm wasting my time because these top 5 that I'm listing, these are the ones that women just be going for. No, like, because I mentioned a lot of dudes in uniform. And we all know that old saying, women love a man in uniform. Especially, women will be like, especially women that like to date street ninjas and whatnot. or these girls will be, okay, I'm going to date a regular dude after I'm done with the athletes and all these people. Okay, he's in the military. Or he's a policeman, or he's a firefighter. And I'm like, bruh, how about a male teacher? How about something regular, something dependable, reliable? Someone with how about a tech, somebody that works in tech? Somebody like the tech dudes, they literally showed they were the most faithful dudes. They make money. They just like, women just love, they just want somebody to be, just somebody to knock them off their feet. Literally, physically and literally. So let's read this Reddit story real quick.
I just found out my fiance of 5 years was a monster and a bully in high school.
So this is a woman. She says she just found out her fiance of 5 years. First of all, fiance of 5 years, that's a red flag already. But was a monster and a bully in high school. Now, people with these kind of reputations in high school, what profession do they usually end up being? Let's find out.
I thought my fiancé was perfect because he's handsome, kind, and he's a cop.
So right there. You know what? Let me let it play. I'm going to keep pausing it too much, but let me let it play. But the guy's a cop.
He's treated me so well since we met. He stopped me for speeding and ended up with my number. But looking back now, I should have seen the red flags. His family and old friends joked about his temper in his high school bad boy days. Now I'm questioning if my cat really ran away or did he make him. Anyway, we had an engagement party in his hometown a few days ago and I got a Facebook message now long after warning me about my fiancé, saying he was this monster in high school. I thought this was someone trolling me, but as the day went on 5 more people messaged me, one being his cousin. I asked his cousin for proof because I thought this was a joke since my fiancé is an amazing person. He is a cop for God's sake. His cousin told me to give him a few hours of my time to explain. Well, about 2 hours ago my world turned upside down. I was added to a group chat with multiple people with a lot of proof. I've seen videos, heard stories, and seen screenshots, even a memorial page of one of his victims' sewer slide at 16. Guys, this was horror movie level stuff from threats, SA, lots of hate speech, even one of him harming a dog while the kid screamed as my fiancé laughed. He looked about 18 in the video. The stories I heard both broke my heart and scared me. I don't know what to do. Maybe he has changed? Should I confront him? Should I give him a chance to tell his side? I asked the cousin why they didn't do anything since they have videos. He said, you think we didn't try years ago? Life isn't a fairy tale. The bad guy doesn't always face justice. Your future-in-laws and fiancé made sure everything always went away. He said he would help me leave, but we would need to make a plan that can't lead back to him for his sake. I just found out my fiancé
So let's analyze this.
of 5 years was a monster and a bully in high school. I thought my fiancé was perfect because he's handsome, kind, and he's a cop.
So when we talk about what kind of dudes get the best treatment from women, it's guys like this. People think it's the athletes. People think it's the tall people in general. People think it's the entertainers, the musicians. That's not true. It's guys like this. Or let's make it, because clearly the guy's not black. The black version of this would be a street ninja that does similar type degenerate stuff, right? Smoking, messing with multiple, like, I'm talking about messing with people's, when I mean degenerate, not necessarily having sex, but I'm talking about having sex with the person's friend just to keep his girl in check, and having sex with a friend's sister and his, and one person's mom, and guys like that be literally destroying their women. Those guys are the guys that get the best treatment from women. In America, I don't know why that is. These are the dudes that get the best treatment from my observation. Those are the type of dudes that get their best treatment, right? It's not necessarily he needs to be tall. It's a guy that's tall, but he needs therapy. Those are the type of guys that girls like, especially in their 20s. And I don't want to hear no girls over 30 and 40 talk about, I want a nice guy. Of course you do. You're over 30.
He's treated me so well since we met. He stopped me for speeding and ended up with my number. But looking back now, I should have seen the red flags.
Now, when we talked about the top professions that women should not be dating or be taken seriously in a relationship, I put number one cop. And anybody with some kind of common sense should know this. Like, when you look at the domestic violence rate amongst cops to their spouses, it's like ridiculously high. Like, it's almost damn near guaranteed. And on top of that, a lot of cops are former military. And I'm sitting there like, when you look at this stuff, you look at the dirt that they do, and you take into account if you have a problem with your cop husband, cop boyfriend, or just a cop that you're just effing. Imagine you try to divorce that cop. He's gonna be stalking you. He's gonna be able to get away with it because you're gonna have to leave town. Because cops have that kind of power. If they know certain people in certain offices, when you look at the case of the guy from 2 years ago in 2020, not George Floyd, but there was the other dude where it's a dad and son duo. I don't know. No, they weren't cops. They weren't cops. But there are cops that have their status, because I wanted to bring up that point because they knew people in the DA. They were related to people in the DA. So they were able to brush that stuff under the rug until the media picked it up. Now, cops have that kind of power, dog. They have that. They know people. They know they got dirt on their fellow cops. This is why their cop partners don't snitch on them. You know what I mean? Like, if he goes off on you and you need to leave, or you thinking that you're just gonna mess with a cop, say if you're a girl and you're a promiscuous girl. Say if you're a promiscuous girl and you just say, oh, let me just mess with a cop just because. That's gonna be an L. Because say if the cop is attachment crazy, right? And he ends up catching feelings for you, and you're like, let me move on. And you're staying in that same town, he's gonna be stalking you. He's gonna be stalking your family and friends, especially if you live in a city like that. Man. But like I say, women love a man in uniform. Women love a man in uniform. You know, it's a lot of red flags that I'm seeing already. But like I said, women love guys like that for some reason. I don't know why.
His family and old friends joked about his temper in his high school bad boy days. Now I'm questioning if my cat really ran away or did he make him. Anyway, we had an engagement party in his hometown a few days ago, and I got a Facebook message now long after warning me about my fiance, saying he was this monster in high school. I thought this was someone trolling me, but as the day went on, 5 more people messaged me, one being his cousin. I asked his cousin for proof because I thought this was a joke since my fiance is an amazing person. He is a cop, for God's sake. His cousin told—
See, that's it. He's a cop. There's no way that he can do dirt. Even though he literally has, in America, there's not really, when we talk about why you can't trust a lot of American women, is because they are incentivized to not be good people. So it's not necessarily about, oh, women are bad. It's just, we just know in America, the women are incentivized to not be good people. Same applies. So you got to follow the money. What incentive is there to be a decent cop? You can end up dying early if you're not on the dirty side. You know, that's how it works. How you move up in the game. It's hard to move up in the game being a decent person. It's really hard.
Me to give him a few hours of my time to explain. Well, about 2 hours ago my world turned upside down. I was added to a group chat with multiple people with a lot of proof. I've seen videos, heard stories, and seen screenshots, even a memorial page of one of his victims' sewer slide at 16. Guys, this was horror movie level stuff from threats, SA, lots of hate speech, even one of him harming a dog while the kid screamed as my fiance.
So we got sexual assault. We have harming animals. We have one of his victims from bullying committing suicide. We have all of this. And she's trying to ask us, should she leave? Because low key, she already fucked up. She already knows she fucked up because she's already in too deep with that guy. Because if she leaves now, she's gonna have to leave the city. She's starting to get now. People are saying like, are you kidding? Of course she should leave. Well, yes, she should leave. First of all, she's an idiot for getting involved with a cop in the first place just because he was handsome. So, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, she should leave. But if she leaves, she's gonna have to leave. I'm talking about she's gonna have to leave town, like the whole district. Because if she just leaves now and stays in town, that cop is gonna make her life a living hell. People don't realize this when it comes to bullies. Bullies need to be stopped permanently. You got to stop him permanently. You can't just, it's not like the old day. Well, it's never been like that, but it's not like you just going to stop him one time and he's just going to respect you and hold that L. That's not how bullies work. That's not how bullies work. And by the way, if that girl has relatives and she breaks up with him, he's not gonna let that go. He's not gonna let that go.
Laughed. He looked about 18 in the video. The stories I heard both broke my heart and scared me. I don't know what to do. Maybe he has changed? Should I confront him? Should I give him a chance to tell his side?
Maybe has he changed? I don't know why women be saying this stuff. Like, they really think that their vagina can change people. Oh, Lord. Oh. I'm reading this live right now. Hold on for a second. So somebody has the quick update. Okay, she said, so her fiance found the post. Fiance's friend found it and sent it to him, and she panicked. She told her brothers about all of it in case he did something to her. She packed her bags and left for Ireland for a few weeks. She spoke to her fiance, and apparently he gave away her cat without telling her, and she doesn't believe him. So he basically lied. Also said he was embarrassed about his high school behavior, and that's why he didn't mention it to her. And he apparently also went to anger management. She told him she needed time. Full update is on Reddit. What did I say, though? What did I say? She's going to have to move. I'm talking about I'm sorry. She's going to have to move somewhere where people don't find out where she at, because this is a cop. Oh, man. And by the way, I don't know why people argue with me about certain things. Like, I'll come on here, right? Like, when joining this space, right? It's interesting. The stuff that people argue me down on, it makes no sense. Like, the stuff I came in saying all teachers are thoughts, and I'm thinking saying stuff like that or other things that I thought I would have to really defend myself against, and no problem. Or certain content creators I called out, I thought I was going to get backlash for. It ended up being everybody, bravo. You called out Just Pearly. You called out Samantha Lee. You called out this people, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Female manosphere content creators. All these things I'm thinking I'm going to get backlash for. And I'm talking about, there's a lot of things that I said. I'm talking, oh yeah, witchcraft. When I talk about witchcraft, I didn't realize how positively people would respond to it. But these things that I think is pretty clear cut, where I'm saying you can't be dating cops, or when I say Riley Gaines and other conservative girls like her are full of caca, and when I was talking about Jesse Lee Peterson and how there might be credence to the story because it didn't come from a liberal media's news outlet. This is what I get the most pushback from. I got this dude in my comment section the other day talking about how the justice system is fair. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this guy that has no idea. Does he? He's gonna have to find out the hard way. It's a lot of people, especially a lot of men, end up finding out the hard way that the justice system is not justice. And usually, especially particularly with Caucasian men end up finding out the system isn't fair once they get a divorce. Black men end up finding out early on with their earlier experiences with just the court system in general, when they see their friend going to jail for 30 years for weed. So that's a different perspective. Or where you see Hispanics, right? Same thing, when it's like pretty much a similar thing, going away for joints or being pulled over and stuff like that. And then on the Asian side, you'll see they don't realize how crooked the system is until they leave. Basically, Asians don't really realize, they know, but they don't realize how much they've been covered until they really make it out on their own. Because usually Asians have their whole family together. They have a family structure. Have you ever noticed you've never seen an Asian get pulled over by a cop? There's a reason behind that, but that's a whole nother stream. But until they go out on their own and really create their own path, that's when they start realizing, oh shoot, my family covered me from this. My family covered me from that. Oh, this is how business works here. Okay, that's what. So the justice system is not for you, dog. It's for people with money. This is why. Why do you think, if you think that OJ did it, right? If you're so convinced that OJ did it, I don't like saying that because he was proven innocent in the law that you guys think is the fairest in the world. But let's use your logic. Why do you think, if you believe OJ did it, why do you think a black male athlete in the 90s in a court in California got away with, according to you, with killing a blonde white woman who's also Jewish? Jewish father, connected. You need to understand what that family is. And her, the guy that was with her. I don't know if she was Jewish, but basically, yeah, her parents that was really like on this case, and with Ron Goldman. Look at the last name. How do you think he got away with that? Money. In California, if you have money, you can get away with murder. Now let's let this apply to everything else. How do you, this dude try to bring up in my comment section Johnny Depp as the perfect example of justice prevailing? That's not justice prevailing. That's money. I'm sitting there like I'll be because sometimes these comments they be killing me. I'll be like, so they gonna argue me this. They gonna saying it. I say it exactly like that. They gonna argue me this. They gonna argue me this, where I can literally prove it's right in front of your face. It's not even a matter of proof. It's right in front of your face. There's no justice system, and you'll find out if you get on a cop's bad side. There's no justice system, or you find out people don't even realize if you're okay. Say if you have one of those ladies that like to yell and scream a lot and cause arguments. You're not going to realize how detrimental that is until she calls the cop just to teach you a lesson. And then the cops come in full guns blazing because it's a domestic violence report. And they have your ass locked up for nothing, just because your lady wanted to teach you a lesson. People need to understand what the jobs of cops are and just look how they treat the average poor person and look how they are treated. And have you ever seen how cops act when they're around like rich people or like just well-known rich people, like at these galas? You gotta see it. It's night and day. It's more. I can bring up obviously black and white examples, but I think that would go over most white people's heads. So I always bring this example. Just go to a rich gala, one of those, and see how those cops act. Because at those rich galas, they be doing their cocaine right in front of the cops. They be drinking right in front of like they be I'm talking about passed out drunk, going crazy, cursing out the cops, and their when you look at the cops, it's like their hands are tied, and you're like, whoa, this is a level of patience I have never seen a cop operate as, So it is what it is. Not saying that all cops are bad, but the institution in and of itself, people need to understand what a cop job truly is, and once you find out, you'll realize, oh, they're just basically the janitors of our society. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it.